you look at these little engravings on here, it kind of looks like Asian.
But it doesn't look Asian to me. It looks more like it's from India.
Okay.
India or the Middle East.
I've got a hero sword here for you.
A hero sword.
Yes, it was used by John Wayne in Rio Grande.
Hey, John Wayne.
Yeah.
Your guy.
Yeah, he was a hell of an actor.
I think they went to the same high school.
Yeah, right.
A young guy brings in an antique coffee grinder that looks half gym machine, half medieval torture device. He says his sanitation worker uncle gave it to him as a graduation gift, and Rick jokes it could give you lockjaw. Then Rick realizes it's a late 19th century cast iron Chicago piece, and suddenly sees serious industrial history.
So what do we got here, man?
This is an antique coffee grinder. My uncle works at the Department of Sanitation. He picks up a lot of stuff, and about 5 years ago, he gave this to me as a graduation gift, actually.
God, he didn't like you that much, did he?
Rick inspects the gears and housing, impressed that everything functions without cracks or missing parts. He even spots traces of old blue paint inside, proof it once had a bold factory finish. This thing was clearly built to outlive its original owners, and Rick's internal profit meter starts ticking.
I hope you haven't used this thing because you'd probably get lockjaw, man. It's definitely cool. I mean, you put the coffee in there, you turn the handle, and it comes out here. I'm sure a few tons of coffee has gone through this thing. This thing's like 120 years old, probably. It looks late 19th century, late 1800s.
Okay.
All right, it was made in Chicago.
Right.
And at the time, that was the industrial center of the world, basically.
When the money talk starts, the seller asks $500 with bold confidence. Rick counters at $200 and explains restoration could cost several $100s before it becomes truly desirable. The seller agrees, and Rick walks away with a project piece that screams potential.
I'm thinking like $500, man.
Nah. Some people buy it like it's sitting out in their front yard like this, but if you're gonna put it in your kitchen, man, or you're gonna put it in somewhere nice, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $200 for it.
That's a quality piece, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna have to spend $300 or $400 to get it powder coated to make it look nice.
Later, Rick heads to Rick Dale's shop to see the restored grinder, and the transformation is jaw-dropping. Fresh paint, sharp detailing, and smooth running gears turn it into a showpiece. Rick's grin alone could probably power the thing.
So, what do you think?
How's it going, man?
Good, how are you, Rick?
Damn, it looks great. So tell me everything you did.
Well, we had to take the wheels off and open the gears up, but there's not too many moving parts. You know, it's basically just a paint job on the thing.
I mean, it looks great. There was no problems. There was no
major problems. It was a little tedious sandblasting. It probably had 30 coats of paint on it.
Dale charges $350 for the work and estimates a resale value between $1,800 and $2,500. With a $200 purchase price and $350 restoration, Rick is staring at a serious margin. This is exactly the kind of flip that keeps him hooked on restoration projects.
The Fairbanks Morris Company has been around since the early 1800s. They first started making plows, and then they went into tractors and motors, and this was just one of the products in the Industrial Revolution that they decided to make. It's a different, pretty piece. You don't see anything like this anymore.
Next, a seller shows off a 1967 Rat Patrol lunchbox, sparking Rick's nostalgia for the old Desert War TV show. He describes it as 4 guys in Jeeps blowing stuff up, exactly the kind of chaos kids once carried to school. But as Rick inspects dents and wear, the vibe shifts from cool find to uh-oh.
I got a 1967 Rat Patrol lunchbox I'm interested in selling.
Okay. Do you know much about it?
No, I didn't even know much about Rat Patrol until just recently, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really low-budget TV show about 4 guys in the desert.
Rick notes it was made by Aladdin, which is good, but it's badly dented, missing the metal clip, and worst of all, there's no thermos. He explains that a thermos can almost double the value of a lunchbox. In perfect condition, it might fetch $150 to $175, but this one's closer to $30 retail.
I think it's pretty cool, but it's a little politically incorrect for nowadays when you have, like, on a 6-year-old's lunchbox and blowing up people.
Yeah.
They're just blatantly killing people.
Yeah. Probably not good.
They just don't allow stuff like this because For some reason, they think it's going to desensitize children.
Yeah.
Like Rambo won't.
Yeah, no kidding.
He offers $20, which lands with a thud. After thinking it over, the seller decides to hang on to it for sentimental reasons rather than take the cash. Sometimes nostalgia beats whatever the market says.
And in this thing in perfect shape with the thermos, it's worth like 150, 175 bucks.
Yeah.
In this shape, it's worth right around 30 bucks. So I would give you a whopping $20 for it.
Okay.
I wish I could go more, but literally, I'm going to get 30 bucks for it, and it's going to sit a while.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just keep it then.
Okay. Well, thanks for bringing it in.
Oh, thanks.
Then comes a 6-foot hand-carved wooden Indian statue that commands the room. The seller says it once stood in his grandfather's tobacco shop and weighs around 150 pounds, making Chumley break a sweat just imagining moving it. The old man steps in, clearly fascinated.
Hey, boss,
What?
come check this out. You didn't notice a 6-foot Indian walk through the door?
Tell me I was looking for somebody to replace you anyhow.
Probably get more work out of him.
That's stone cold.
But I have no need for it, so somebody told me that might be worth some money, so I thought I'd check it out and take it to the pawn shop.
He explains how cigar store Indians once signaled tobacco shops to people who couldn't read. This one's in good shape, bright colors, and crisp carving, giving it undeniable display power. You can practically see the old man mentally placing it on the sales floor.
The cigar wooden Indian came to be the symbol for a tobacco shop back in the late 1800s. So the people that couldn't speak English and couldn't read English would know where to go.
So I'd look for the Indian holding the hamburger.
Yeah, you would, Chumley.
The seller wants about $900, but the old man insists he lives in reality, not retail fantasy, and offers $400. The seller counters with $600, but the old man won't budge. Eventually, the seller takes the $400, and the shop scores a solid piece of Americana with profit written all over it.
I'm looking maybe, I think it might be worth around $9.
That might be worth $9 retail, but I'm not in the retail business.
What do you think's a fair price?
I'll give you $400 for it.
How about 6?
I'm not trying to beat you up. If you want to sell it, I'll give you $400 for it. I ain't gonna pay over that.
Next, a man claims to have over 7 minutes of original 1930s home movie footage of FDR, Rick, and the old man. Instantly perk up, but warn they must prove it's not stock or mass-produced film. If it's truly unique, the potential value could be enormous.
1930s film footage of President FDR. That's not stock, but personal.
He was the president when you were born.
Who happens to be one of the most popular presidents ever.
So how in the world did you get this?
I used to work for an antique dealer, and it was just a box of old film, and it was no use to him. And
They set up to screen the reel as the seller explains it came from a Red Cross attorney who had access back then. The lights dim, and everyone leans in as if they're about to time travel. The anticipation in the room is heavy.
Some 16 millimeter that's been brought down.
I'm sure we'll be able to tell if it's done with a small home movie camera.
this is personally done.
If this is an original home video of FDR while president, it's one of a kind, and there's only one way to find out.
Can we watch it?
Sure.
Okay, come on, let's go look at
There
it.
you go.
The film shows Washington scenes, the White House, and FDR in a top hat riding in a motorcade. The footage feels intimate, yet distant, clearly not polished newsreel material. It's powerful stuff, but the nagging question remains. How rare is it really?
It's one of those items you almost can't put a price tag on, but I'll try.
You guys ready?
About
Ready?
time.
You never know, this could be spy footage right here. The blimp is cool.
Yeah, that's quite a scene.
That's the White House and FDR.
The seller asks a jaw-dropping $90,000, comparing it to a 6-figure Marilyn Monroe home movie sale. Rick immediately pushes back, explaining Marilyn and FDR occupy very different demand universes and that the footage doesn't show anything truly unique like FDR in his wheelchair. It's incredible history, but maybe not 6-figure history.
I'm looking for $90,000.
Whoa. That's a tough, I don't see it there.
No, I don't either, son.
You know, the Marilyn Monroe film just went for $175,000, and that's her just around smoking around with her friends, so.
In the end, Rick says that with one-of-a-kind pieces, there's no reliable last sale to reference, and the risk is massive. He passes on the deal, and the seller walks out still holding his film. The shop is left with chills from the footage, but no new investment.
When it's one-of-a-kind things like this, I generally pass on them.
It's like when a shotgun goes off. You don't know what the pattern's going to be till afterwards. This could go in an auction. They could start at $1,000.
But what often happens when you have a priceless item?
A proud seller presents a letter from President John F. Kennedy thanking his father for a 1960 debate carving, and Rick instantly flags the date, January 13th, 1961. So technically Senator Kennedy. The seller shoots for big money as Rick studies the piece with surgical focus.
This is a letter from President John F. Kennedy sent to my dad, thanking him for the wood carving that he carved, portraying John F. Kennedy during the 1960 debates with Richard Nixon.
The backstory grows. Dad taught carving, judged events, and made the papers, with a photo and Washington Evening Star article to prove it. Rick respects the craftsmanship but stays cautious, clearly weighing whether one signature justifies the hype.
I'd like to get $2,500 for both of them, and the least I'd take is $1,500.
Mr. Cecil Wakefield, thank you so much for your thoughtful and interesting gift, which you sent to me recently. My staff and I have many interesting comments on the wood carving, which portrays my...
Rick digs deeper. Multiple carvings, podium pose, classic JFK point, and admits he's seen tons of Kennedy collectibles, but never a carving. Then he warns about Autopen's popularity then, and that a non-live signature kneecaps value fast.
Here is a picture of the carving. This is an article in the Washington Evening Star. And of course, this was a gesture that President Kennedy used quite often during the debates. And he'd make a point to Richard Nixon, he would point his finger. And this is another one that he carved.
Decision time. Rick explains the WISP test. Real ink thins naturally while Autopen pressure stays even, and the inspection seals it. Autopen. He praises the father's talent but passes, leaving the seller deflated and the heirloom unsold.
So have you ever had this checked out?
No.
Okay. You have to realize this is January 13th, 1961. In 1 week, he's going to be president of the United States. Pretty busy guy at this moment. And he doesn't have a chance to sign all these things. I mean, there's a million people wanting him to sign his name. So the majority of the stuff is...
Rick wraps the call bluntly. Autopen kills the deal, end of story. The item leaves with zero cash and maximum disappointment.
Not good news.
It's not good news. I mean, and I wish I could give you better news, but the facts are the facts. Thanks for showing it to me, though.
Thanks.
I mean, really, your father was really talented.
A swaggering customer arrives with a cavalry hero sword, claimed to be John Wayne's from Rio Grande, asking $12,000 and firm above $10,000 with a COA in hand. If real, it's a trophy. If not, it's trouble.
A hero sword.
Yes, it was used by John Wayne in Rio Grande.
Hey, John Wayne,
Yeah.
your guy.
Yeah, he was a hell of an actor.
I think they went to the same high school.
Yeah, right.
Rick notes the flashy plating, more Hollywood than standard cavalry, and a 0015 tag without unique production tells. He calls the ultimate source John Wayne's son, Ethan Wayne.
It's been plated over. This isn't the way the cavalry would receive it. It wasn't gold plated, it was polished brass. They might have done that just to make it shine a little bit more in the movies. Is there an identifying mark on this thing?
Well, what it is that it came along with this tag.
Ethan breaks down the Wayne John Ford Cavalry trilogy and the crafted on-screen persona, but without distinct identifiers on this specific sword, attribution is risky.
What do you got here?
Supposedly used by your dad, a sword from Rio Grande.
Before my time. But cool. Rio Grande's one of the trilogies, 3 cavalry films that my father made with John Ford directing. John Ford.
They hunt for a Western Costume Company mark, often WCC near the hilt, and find nothing. Ethan suggests calling Eddie Marks at Western Costume and sending the COA for verification.
Inscriptions. Do you know if there's one on there?
Well, there's this number right here, and which matches the tag that was sent along with it.
Okay. You know what we could do? This certificate of authenticity is signed by Eddie Marks, who runs the company. I know Eddie, and he's just a phone call away, so...
The verdict stings. Eddie confirms his signature, but the bottom stamp is a fake, cut from another document. The COA is bogus, so the sword can't be tied to Wayne, and the seller's hopes collapse.
That stamp at the bottom was never put on any certificate of authenticity that I actually signed. That looks like it came off of the bottom of a contract.
Cue the curveball. A Civil War-era urethra syringe for treating STDs lands on the counter, and Chumley recoils while Rick grimaces. It's medical history with maximum squirm factor.
This is a Civil War-era syringe used to treat the soldiers' syphilis and gonorrhea.
Is that a urethra syringe?
Yes, it was a syringe that went into the urethra.
She outlines provenance in the wartime STD surge, camp brothels, rampant infections, harsh treatments like boric acid. Rick listens, intrigued and mildly horrified.
So where did you get this thing?
I received this from a collector. During the Civil War, STDs were rampant, and these were used commonly.
Yeah, as much as like 30% of the troops got bit by the love bug. Prostitutes would set up their
Rick inspects the crude rubber, factory-made design, no needle, direct insertion and push, and deems it authentic and unsettling. It's a guaranteed conversation piece if you dare.
So can I look at it?
Sure, I wouldn't touch that end,
No,
though.
I'm not going to touch the business end, no. I mean, it looks like it's from the Civil War. You can tell it's factory made, but it's still that really crude, early rubber technology. And it would do the job, basically. I mean, you just insert it and push.
She asks $300. Rick calls it creepy but collectible and offers $160. She agrees, and Chumley writes it up like it might bite.
I probably would like to sell it for about $300.
All right.
I mean, think about where this has been.
I know there's people who collect them. You know, it's a tough sell. It's a weird sell. You know, how about 160 bucks?
You know, I agree with you. It is creepy.
The shop goes full holiday mode while Rick reminds us every festive item still has a price tag. The old man delivers grumpy Santa energy as the door readies for deals.
Here at the pawn shop, Christmas is our favorite holiday. And even though we're in the desert, we still love to be festive. So every year we decorate the shop and exchange gifts.
Ho, ho, ho!
A customer brings Colonial currency, including a bill printed by B. Franklin, and Rick locks in. Dates show a 1764 Pennsylvania note, and he treats it like a potential blockbuster.
I got some currency here.
Okay.
That I found in an old roll-top desk that my grandparents had.
So was there any other papers in it or anything like that?
There were some old newspapers.
Rick explains pre-America money chaos and Franklin's printing genius, noting leaf pattern anti-counterfeiting. He wants an expert before throwing big cash.
So what can you tell me about them?
Well, this one right here is from the state of New York, and it looks like it has the 10 Commandments right on the back. And this one is for 6 shillings. It's from Philadelphia, and it's dated 1777. This one, though, I think is the most valuable.
Currency expert Dana confirms Colonial counterfeiting methods and Franklin's nature prints, calling the note authentic and circulated. The stakes jump fast.
Well, this one's from 1776. This one's from 1777. Continental currency, I'm familiar with them. This one, on the other hand, 1764. It's printed by Ben Franklin, and I'm just not real familiar with it. When did Benjamin Franklin start printing?
Well, he bought a newspaper and...
Then the bombshell, a red ink signature from George Clymer, one of 5 to sign both the Declaration and Constitution. This 1764 issue is the only one he signed, and Dana values it at $1,500 to $2,000 or more.
Indeed makes it far more valuable and interesting to collectors. However, you'll see in light red ink here the signature of George Clymer. And George Clymer is a very important person.
Negotiations get tight. Rick only wants the Clymer-signed Franklin piece. They settle on $500 cash and $500 trade, and Rick all but admits he'll price it high to keep it.
I'd give you 50 bucks a piece, and I really don't even care about those. This is the one I want.
How about 1,000 for that one?
How about 700 bucks?
How about 900 for all 3 pieces?
I mean, I really, really want it, and I want to give you 700 bucks for it.
Next, a woman claims a 15th century battle axe, confident and insistent. Rick suspects Indian or Middle Eastern origin and calls an expert.
I have an axe.
That's pretty obvious. So where did you get it?
A friend of mine got it from a garage sale about 20 years ago.
Okay.
The man collected axes and guns and swords. He died, and his wife sold it all in a garage sale.
She bought it decades ago from a collector's estate, and Rick keeps an open mind. The workmanship is old, but he wants a firm date and place before bidding.
You look at these little engravings on here, it kind of looks like Asian.
But it doesn't look Asian to me. It looks more like it's from India.
Okay.
India or the Middle East.
Okay.
This was Asian artwork. The headdresses or the headpieces would be completely different. You can see on one of the characters.
Weapons expert Dean spots Kamari-style gold and hand-chiseled engraving typical of India, with a decorative hammer back. He dates it late 18th to early 19th century.
If you look at the way it is hand chiseled, hand carved in the engraving, it's actually a kafkari, and that is a low grade of gold applied to the surface rather than an inlay. That is.
Dean estimates $400 to $600 at auction, deflating the hoped-for medieval payday. She passes, keeping the mystery, and the decor bragging rights.
Early 19th century, what's it worth?
In this condition, at auction, I'm going to say between $400 and $600.
Wow, what a disappointment.
Holiday detour. Secret Santa chaos erupts as Chum regifts Rick a coin from Rick's own desk, and Corey gives a $7 gift card. Grandma's knitted sweater humbles Corey, who has to wear it.
I got you a present.
What is this?
It's wrapped in foil.
Chumwick, this is one of the coins that was on the desk the other day.
I have a small budget.
A college couple brings a film camera tied to the USS Wisconsin, and the old man perks up. If the serials fit the ship's timeline, it's a solid holiday flip.
What do you got here?
You have an old vintage camera from the USS Wisconsin?
Hey, old man.
Why?
These people got a camera here. They want to do an action film with Santa.
Research shows a 1950 manufacture and a 1951 recommission for the Wisconsin, making ship use plausible. The old man offers $125, and the couple who paid $20 take the win.
Adds a little ambiance to it as far as the price. This thing costs $200 to $500 back in about 1950, which you could go buy a new car for that amount of money.